Hey team, it's Kristen Ramirez. Welcome to our Thursday Essentials. We are doing today a little different. And so rather than doing a Facebook Live, we have this video. So I'm able to show you a PowerPoint presentation so you can see the slides and the screens, the information a little bit better. However, I am still raffling a free gift for those participating live. And so make sure you're commenting on this post, make sure you like it, make sure you're engaging. And so I know that you're watching, and I know that you are here supporting our team. And I will be announcing who the winner is tonight. So let's get started. Today's topic is basically covering the business basics. I want to share with you today why build a doTERRA business. So my intention is to really educate and empower you so you can have the tools to grow a doTERRA business and start making money right now. Honestly, the biggest thing for me when it came to deciding whether I was going to start a doTERRA business was really the empowerment factor. Many of you know my background is in counseling, and I absolutely loved when I had my counseling practice. I was helping clients, and priorities shifted, our situation shifted, and my priority was to be a full-time mom, which I absolutely loved. But there was this piece of me that really missed helping others and also really missed doing something for me. And so doTERRA has been such an amazing outlet for me to be able to feel accomplished, feel like I'm using my education, feel like I'm doing something for myself, and then also I'm able to empower people. I'm able to connect people with tools in their home to naturally support their health and wellness. And so that is the biggest difference and key for me. The second reason I chose to build doTERRA is I can financially help support my family as well. And with doTERRA, I'm going to talk about the compensation plans here in a little bit. But the key takeaway is you can start making money the first week you enroll. And so you really can start either earning your oils for free, if that's your goal, or building residual income, building a financial pipeline. The other reason why I chose to build doTERRA business is I get to build my own dreams. And I'm going to talk more later on in this about the comparison between the traditional job and the network marketing. So much of sometimes what we hear with network marketing is negative. And I want to share with you all the positive things with network marketing. And part of that is I get to build my own dream versus working for someone and building theirs. So I want to share with you some true stories, what happened to me over the last few months. Now, when I talk about one of the reasons why I love to build doTERRA is for empowering others to support their wellness, I want to share with you Jessica's story about DigesZen. Jessica is going through cancer right now. She has been going through chemo, and the chemo is really tearing her stomach up. And she had heard about essential oils. She came to one of my classes, and I suggested her to try DigesZen because I know that that helps support our digestive system. And I checked back with her a couple days after she had gotten her oils and she was trying them out. And she says, "Kristen, that stuff's like magic." And she said, "I am so miserable the majority of the day with all of this stuff I'm going through. And to have my stomach upset as much as it's been, like this has been such a saver for me." So that story really touched home to me when she started sharing it. I started tearing up, and I said, this is exactly why I do what I do, to be able to help people. Now, I got to share with you my son's preschool teacher, Mrs. Munoz. We went to a parent-teacher conference just a couple weeks ago, and we did our traditional information going over everything that he's been learning and areas of strength, areas he can work on. And then after it, she says, "You know what, Kristen? You have no idea how many people you have helped." And again, I started choking up because this is the foundation of why I do what I do, to be able to empower people, especially women, to be able to naturally support us physically and emotionally. Those are keys. And then the last story I want to share with you is Gayla's story. She had actually joined through a team member of mine. and she had learned about how to use the products, how to use the oils, and then she had talked to me a little bit about some sampling and how she should sample. And I said, I didn't realize you were sharing. So I was talking to her a little bit, getting her story, and she said, you know, I've just had people naturally come up to me and talk to me about what I'm doing different. Because she says, in 15, 20 years, I've had to be on antibiotics every year and have to go to several doctor visits. Also, I deal with several spouts and pneumonia. And she said, within these 15 to 20 years, I've been dealing with that every year. This year was the first time I didn't have to go through any of that. And she said the people I work with started noticing that I was at work. I wasn't sick. I wasn't having to go to the doctor. And so they were curious, like, what are you doing different? And so when I talk about getting empowering tools in your home, these 3 stories help sum up what I mean by that. Now, the second aspect of why I love building a doTERRA business is being able to be profitable. And so when I first connected to the business side of doTERRA, my upline, Mindy Rouser, was sharing her story with me. And she was letting me know in 2 years, she went full force. In 2 years, she went from making minimal income to be able to hit a diamond rank and make over $12,000 a month. She made enough money building doTERRA that she was able to retire her husband, who has a master's level engineering degree. And so if you think about how much their life, their situation changed financially by being able to do something of benefit for people, I mean, I truly find that so amazing. Now, again, being profitable, another true situation that just happened to me in February and March when people say, well, you know, what's the likelihood of being able to connect people with these oils? I was able to share doTERRA with 12 different people in the month of February and the month of March. And so I'll talk about bonuses here in a second. But for every person I connect with doTERRA, I get 20% of their order for the first 60 days. So that's a great way that I can get my own oils paid for, and I can get this fast cash to help supplement my income. The other true fact that I want to share, last month, I alone was able to grow 1,000 personal volume in my team in 2 days. Now, when you're reaching out to people that you've shared with in the past, you are able to sample them, give them some things to try, teach them how to use the oils. This was me simply reaching out to people that I knew these oils and these products could help with, that they decided it was the right time for them. And so when I'm talking about the compensation and the bonuses, I was able to help people, and I was able to financially support my family with that as well. And then the last story I want to share with you about being profitable is my Aunt Pat decided to build a doTERRA business. She came to my home to visit. I don't even think she knew that I did anything with essential oils. She came in, she was having some discomfort. I knew what oils to share with her to help her feel better. They worked. And so she said, you know, I'd like to get some of these, and I'm also interested in the business. Her very first enrollment that she was able to help someone and connect them to essential oils was a natural solutions kit. And so her compensation for sharing a natural solutions kit was $80. And so that was a great way to get her own oils paid for that month. So these are just basic real life stories, which the more you build, the more of these wonderful stories you're able to hear. The other reason why I chose doTERRA over all the other essential oil companies available, not only to build with, but also to use personally on myself and on my family, was there 3 different models that are very uniquely doTERRA's. Co-impact sourcing, this is where you have doTERRA has the relationship with the growers. This is where we get the purest, most potent essential oils available because we're able to harvest these plants where they grow best, optimal soil, optimal climate, and so it creates this most potent essential oil available. Healing Hands Foundation, this is their charitable organization that gives back. So when I am supporting doTERRA, I am supporting to be able to give back to people. A lot of the communities that doTERRA has connected to their co-impact sourcing are not very well off. They lack a lot of modern day things that we all are used to. And so doTERRA, through this Healing Hands Foundation, has been able to build schools so the kids can go to work or go to school. They've been able to build medical clinics, and so they have capabilities of getting their health care taken care of. They've built running water and irrigation. So they're really changing lives through this charitable work. If you're interested, feel free to Google or go to doTERRA.com and go search Co-Impact Sourcing and Healing Hands Foundation. They'll give you more information. The third and final thing that I really want to highlight for the doTERRA difference is this source to you. You can go and check out where each essential oil was harvested that you have in your home. You can check and look at all of the testings on that. So we know, because these oils are certified pure therapeutic grade and they go through this vigorous testing, we know that they're the most pure and potent that we can get. But now we can actually have access to go in, type in our lot number, and then we're able to get all the readings from that essential oil bottle that we have in our hands. I think that's amazing. The other thing is doTERRA has a board of physicians, and they range from an ears, throat, and nose doctor to a pediatrician to all sorts of doctors that are really integrating these essential oils into modern medicine. And so you can read their bios, you can read the research they're doing. Johns Hopkins is one of the organizations that they're working with and introducing these oils and trying them out. And so doTERRA is really making leaps and bounds of a difference in people's life and also the overall knowledge of essential oils. So I mentioned I'm going to talk about the traditional job versus network marketing. So when I think about a traditional job, you trade time for money. And what I mean by that, and I'll just use myself as an example. When I had my own counseling practice, I was doing really well. Every client I saw for a 50-minute session, it was $100. And so I was making pretty good income. And funny story, at the time I had my counseling practice, I was making more income than my husband, which was great for both of us because we were able to do so much. This was before kids. We were able to vacation and do all these things. But guess what? If I wanted to make more money, I had to put in more time. I had to put in more hours. So I had to see more clients in order to make more money. So that's what I mean, trading time for money. Now, when you're in this traditional job setting, picture yourself as hauling buckets. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard the story of the man that hauled buckets to his village. And if you haven't, I'll give you a synopsis of it. There's this man that lived in a village where the nearest water source was 2 miles away. And so he would go every day and haul buckets from the village to the water source and bring those buckets back and sell the water. And he'd sell out. It was a very secure job for him. He knew that he would always have money coming in. Now, if he wanted to make more money, he would have to haul more buckets. He would have to make more trips from the village to the water source. Now, years and years of this, wear and tear on your body. And so he came up with this idea of building a pipeline. So every day he hauled his buckets, and rather than ending there, he took his extra time and he started building a pipeline. And it took him over 1 year to 2 years to build this pipeline. But once he had it finished, he was able to turn on a spigot and he had fresh water coming down into the village. This water was more clean than what he was able to offer. And at that point, he had built that pipeline. And so he was able to be financially secure without having to have physical labor in doing it. So when I talk next about network marketing and I say build a financial pipeline, it's very similar to what I'm talking about. You put all the energy, all the work up front, you build your team, you help educate the people you share these oils with. And you know what? doTERRA's retention rate is 65 to 70%, which is huge in network marketing. Most network marketing companies range between like 8 to 12%. So what that is telling you is you reach out to people, you grow your team, and you educate them, you are building your own financial pipeline. And so I think this is so amazing because this leads us to financial freedom. And it helps us build this residual income that even as a master's level professional, I couldn't have done in traditional job working as a counselor. And so that's one of the reasons why I love network marketing. Here's the other thing too. If you are interested in starting your own business, generally overhead and startup costs are huge. When you start with a network marketing company, your startup costs are minimal and your overhead is pretty much all included. So you have a built-in payroll, customer service, a financial department, along with other responsibilities that you don't have to do. You don't have to build. It's already ingrained in this network marketing company that you've joined. So these are just some highlights. And so when I talked about building my own dream, I love this quote. If you don't build your dreams, someone will hire you to build theirs. And that goes back to me, to that traditional job. You can possibly be making really good money, but guess whose dream you're building? And then in order to get financial freedom, you're having to work extremely long years of your life, or you're having to just work more hours to get more money. So I want to share with you doTERRA's compensation plan. You get paid 3 ways in doTERRA, and you get to choose your level of play, which I'll explain in a second. So here is doTERRA's compensation chart. And you can see that the rank that it starts out with is Elite. Elite is 3,000 overall volume under your team. And so when someone talks to me and they're interested in getting their oils for free, Elite is a great rank to reach to because the average Elite is making $300 a month, which is more than covering your essential oils that you bought that month. Now, for people that are interested in getting residual income, starting to develop that and supplement income, then I would suggest going to silver, gold, or up. And so when I talk about your level of play, it is right here. And I'm going to move myself so you can see it better. So your level of play. Now, again, if your level of play is you just want your oils for free, you're talking about a commitment between 3 to 5 hours a week. And once you hit Elite, it's average $300 to $600 a month if you're going from Elite to the Premier ranks. This is basically you're personally enrolling people, a few people a month. Now, if you want to supplement your income, your level of play is about 10 to 15 hours a week. This is where you're going to be making on average $600 to almost $5,000 a month. And this is when you're enrolling 4 or more customers and you're finding 1 new builder a month. Now, for those of us that just hate our job or are not currently employed and we want to multiply our income or replace our income altogether, your last level of play is the 15 to 30 hours a week. This is where you're making on average about $5,000 to over $100,000 a month. When I'm talking about these numbers, these figures, excuse me, these figures are all per month. Now at this level, you are enrolling 8 or more new customers a month and you're finding 2 business builders a month. So we start at Elite, about $300 a month and go all the way up to Presidential Diamond of over $100,000 a month. So when you're thinking, what could really make a drastic change for you, for your family, income-wise, then look at these ranks that are available. If you want to look at where I got this, you go to sharesuccess.com and you click Build Guide. and it is included in the build guide along with some of the information that I've shared with you today. These down here are the ways you get paid. I'm going to highlight these two mainly for the purposes of this event today. So making money now. This is where it goes into that fast start bonus I was talking about. So you enroll someone and you get 20% of what they purchase for 60 days. Now, in order to get any bonuses or commissions, you have to be enrolled in doTERRA's system as a not a wholesale customer, as a wellness advocate, and enroll in LRP, the Loyalty Rewards Program, and you have a minimum commitment of 100 PV a month. Once you do that, you're able to earn any bonuses and commissions when you share doTERRA with others. So you get 20% for the first 60 days for a new enrollment. So if you enroll someone with the Natural Solutions Kit, you're gonna get a check for $45. Now the Fast Start bonus is paid weekly. So when I had mentioned you can get paid the same week you join, this is how, through the Fast Start bonus. Now, I was telling you about the Natural Solutions Kit that my Aunt Pat enrolled someone with. Her commissions was $80 on that one enrollment kit. And so that was almost her entire month's commitment in just one enrollment. Now, the cool thing is, let's say you enroll Sally, and Sally decides she also wants to share with people, and she enrolls Bob. So Sally will get 20% of Bob's order, and since you are Sally's enroller, you get 10% of that, which is really cool because this is paid on 3 different levels. And so that goes one more level. If Bob joins and decides he wants to share and he enrolls someone, Bob gets 20%, Sally gets 10%, and you get 5%. So it's a great way to get unexpected checks weekly when you are sharing and building your team in addition to helping people build theirs. So for those of you that might be interested in learning more about the business side of doTERRA versus the short synopsis of it, contact me. I have a great mentoring program, and so I would love to be able to hear your reasoning, your rationale, and so I can tailor the way I mentor off of what your goals are. And so there's really 3 basic things when you decide you want to start sharing doTERRA with others that I would recommend you to do. The first is identify your why. Why are you doing this? Is it because money is so tight that you're having a hard time paying the bills and so just a little income a month would be a benefit? Is it I hate my job, I want to do something that's more fulfilling? Is it I'm a stay-at-home mom and I need to feel like I have a purpose again? I mean, these are just some examples, but you really want to define your why. And that's one of the keys, and I'll tell you more about that when we talk one-on-one together. The second thing you want to do is create measurable and realistic goals. What is your goal for the first 30 days? What's your goal for 90 days? Where do you want to be in 1 year? And you want to be able to grasp that, highlight it, because then it gives you something to work towards. It helps feature and tailor what you're currently doing to get to that end result, that goal that you're wanting in that period of time. The third thing that you want to do is create a names list of at least 100 people. This is an unfiltered, uncensored list of names of people you know. And then one of the next steps we'll talk about is how to effectively prioritize this names list. So I hope tonight's event was of benefit for you. I hope you learned something new. Again, if you are attending live or even after the live event, feel free to share with me any of your key takeaways, any questions you have, like the post, and so you can give more people a benefit of being able to see it. So definitely want to hear from you. I have enjoyed being able to support you on your own individual essential oil journey, whether that is learning more about the business or you're more than comfortable being a consumer, you just want to use the product, but you want to get more knowledge on how to use it. So we will talk next week with our Stress Less essential oil event on Thursday, and I hope you all have a great night.